Hello, how you all doing? Mike Bradley. I hope you are doing well as always. So, my last video you would have seen was a song I wrote when I was 17 years old. A long time ago, scarily. It's a song called Better Man. And it's that song was one of the first kind of songs I wrote. I wrote a few songs before that, and actually, ironically, I was thinking about it this morning, actually. My first song I wrote when I was about 15, very Bon Jovi inspired, entitled You're the One for Me. But I wanted to share with you one of my early songs, and also for myself to reflect on it. And I'm very, very, very critical of myself. Especially when it comes to singing. It's not something I'm super confident in. I'm fairly confident in myself as a guitarist, but when it comes to singing, you know, I'm still learning about my voice. And I watched that Better Man and listened to it and watched it back, and part of me was like, should I release it? Should I not? I thought, no, let's just do it, you know, a few little waltz and all, but it's raw, and I kind of like that in performances. So what I'm getting at, I think it's good as a musician, and this is if you've just started playing guitar, you've just started writing songs, you know, or if you've been doing it for 5-10 years or 5-10 months or whatever. It's good to just start recording, and so then you can look back. And regarding lyric writing as well, you know, I wrote that when I was 17 years old. I'm now not 17, okay? I'm a bit older than 17 now, you know? It's over 15 years since I wrote that song. So it's interesting for myself now as I took a bit of a break from stuff, and now I feel very refreshed again. I'm starting to write lyrics again, I'm starting to write songs again. And I just got my acoustic back from being fixed because the neck was all screwed and God knows what. So I'm feeling very, very inspired again. But I'm writing very much differently. You know, I remember Better Man, that song, I wrote that in kind of one take really. I have my old classical guitar, and I'm writing it on there, and the lyrics I'm pretty sure came in the space of an hour or two, you know. Now, I suppose I'm a bit more read, I don't know, but lyrics, or maybe I'm just out of practice, I don't know, but certainly the words I use now, I like to be a bit clever with words a little bit, but lyrics at the moment aren't coming to me as quick as they used to. It might just be I'm out of practice of it, I don't know, you know, but it's good just to see a development. And also, like I say, by recording yourself and even just recording yourself and not putting it out there to anybody, you know, on YouTube or Facebook or MySpace or Your Space or MySpace? What am I going about MySpace for? My point is just to record stuff, so then it's a good place to be able to critique yourself back on. So when I think back to 2002, when I wrote Better Man, you know, and I haven't sang that song in a long time. And, you know, straight away, I can remember the person I was then, you know, very shy, very, you know, worried what other people thought. And, you know, just kind of trying to find his way in the world, you know. And there's still a bit of that 17-year-old Mike still in me, you know, but obviously over the years, you know, you grow and you become a bit more confident in yourself, you know. But it definitely takes you back to that innocent time, you know, where it was fun, you know. It wasn't all about earning. Now being a musician is my income, is my living, you know. I earn a living being a musician, and back then, you know, I didn't have to worry about money really or anything like that, you know. I lived at home, obviously. I was a teenager and things like that, and you know, all I cared about was rehearsing with my originals band and doing gigs, and it wasn't even occurring to me to make money about playing guitar. Well, obviously I wanted to make money playing guitar, but at that time it was just, you know, getting out there and playing and getting a record deal and all that kind of stuff, you know. You know, lots have changed since then. A lot has changed. Also, as well, it's worth noting that you don't need to know loads and loads of chords, or, you know, be the the biggest or most intellectual poet around to write a song, you know. So Better Man is an E minor, a G, D, C, add 9. And what I found interesting actually is that the verse and the chorus have the exact same chords. It might be an Oasis influence or something like that there, you know. And I've got that little bridge. I was all about bridges back then. A minor, G, a fancy D over F sharp, you know. But very, very simple beginner chords really, you know. But I still think actually the melody line is quite, it's a cool little melody line there, you know, for a 17-year-old lad, you know, because I'm laughing, because I fought the law and I know that I always want more, I'm who I am, I'm a better man. It's a cool, so, you know, if you think of all the great songs out there, a lot of times they are just a few chords, but it's the melody, which is the everything about it. Is the cherry, is the icing on the cake, it is the cake, it's everything. It's the most important thing, a really good melody. And I remember thinking before, you know, when I got a bit older in my early 20s and stuff, like, I want to have all these exotic chords in to make myself look good, you know, and be very muso. And it's like, nah, man, you know, if it calls for a fancy chord, pull it in, you know, like, you know, a really cool add 9 chord, or major 9, 6 9. Now if it calls for that stuff, you know, by all means do it. You know, that's a bit sweeter sounding than if I just went C to F. As opposed to, you know, so it's a nicer kind of sound there. So there, you know, that's a C major 9, that's a C6 9. So, ooh, that's sophisticated. But what I'm getting at, you know, you don't need to have all that to write a good song. You know, if you think of the Beatles songs, you know, some of the greatest songs of all time. And, you know, found myself in time of trouble. It's just, I want to be careful with copyright now on YouTube. You do anything but C, G, A minor and F. You got 101 songs. Was it CG? Yeah, it is CG, A minor, F. Yeah, I just double checked, but I'll probably cut that out of the video so I don't get flagged on copyright. But you know, that's just a classic 1 5 6 4, and 101,000 songs are probably written using that chord progression. So the main thing is working on a really good melody. That's the big 2 and 8 of it, really, you know, melody lines. And then, you know, we get your cowboy chords, and then that way you can build it up. Now that song I did, Better Man, I did record with my old band Biff Tech back in probably 2003, something like that. I wasn't singing it. I remember, again, I was trying to get into singing, and my one part in it was, I'm a better man. I did a harmony on the chorus of I'm a better man, but I you know, would struggle with notes and stuff like that, or pitching. I could hit the notes, but it's pitching. So I would, again, from watching Richie Sambora a lot, I would put a growl in there. So instead of I'm a better man, I would go I'm a better man. I got in a habit of doing that all the time, which is just terrible technique, you know. But I will try and dig out. I've got it on CD. I'll try and dig it out into my Patreons. I'll post it so you can hear the recorded version. And yeah, it'd be interesting for myself to listen to it, because I haven't heard it in a long time. What's the message in this video I can give you all? And I suppose growth. That is it. You know, what if you're a songwriter, if you're a guitar player, if you're both, you know, and you're thinking, am I developing? Am I getting better? You know, I started playing guitar a year ago. I started playing guitar 10 years ago. I can't see a progress or anything like that. You know, start recording yourself, even just for yourselves. You know, don't have to necessarily put it into the World Wide Web or anything like that. And, you know, kind of file it away. And then in 6 months' time, you know, look back at it. And then that way you will start seeing that progress. For myself, you know, I can see a progress in many factors over the last 15 plus years. And that's really, really cool. And that's really interesting. And like I say, regarding lyric writing, I'm really fascinated by that because, you know, especially when you write your own lyrics and then it takes you back to that specific time in your life, you know, and what things were about. You know, Better Man was about me trying, you know, being, you know, in my late teens, trying to become a man, really, if I think about it. You know, I wouldn't have thought about it like that then. It was just words I was putting together, you know. I wasn't writing about a thing or a person or anything like that. It was just fancy words. But if I dive into it, you know, sticks and stones may break my bones and stuff like that. But, you know, I got bullied a lot when I was at school and things like that. So that kind of comes out. So, yeah, a lot of time, but, you know, you're doing better than what you think, you know. Doing a lot better than you think. And another message, I suppose, is confidence, you know, and I need to get that myself. Having confidence in myself and things, and I get a lot of messages from people going, "Oh, I didn't know you can sing," which is very nice to say, and maybe I should do more. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm sure people will let me know in the comment section below. I hope this video makes sense. As always, I'm not like other YouTubers. I never script anything. I just let things come out of my head, you know, and I just wanted to ramble at you for a bit, you know, so yeah. You're doing better than what you think, kids. You really are. But yeah, start recording yourselves and on your iPhone or something, you know, and listen back, and you may be pleasantly surprised. Anyway, I've been Mike Bradley. Thank you very much for your love and support, and I'll see you very soon. Mike Bradley signing out. Bye. The devil's on my side.